Gamers, that's right. The roadmap's here. Well, sort of. It's like a mini one. But before we even start talking about this,
holy Jesus. What is that? What the fuck is that?
that's right, gamers. Clyde's Black Cherry is now back in stock. It's been a while. Really would appreciate it if you go check out GsxrClyde, put a tub of Black Cherry and check out. Use code Clyde. Huge savings. Why should you do this, right? This is just another ad read video, right? You're like, oh, Clyde's trying to sell us on something. I'm very proud that we have this flavor. It tastes like XXX vitamin water. You're probably spending tons of money on energy drinks, DoorDash, coffees. This is 40 cents a serving. You literally pay $40 for 100 servings. 40 cents. I drink it all the time. Drink caffeine free. I drink caffeinated, diabetic friendly, keto friendly, and it's good stuff. So if you guys want to support me further, head on over to GsxrClyde, add a tub of Clyde's Black Cherry in your cart, code Clyde at checkout, and I appreciate you. You guys are going to get 300 vault space. I feel like that's something important to talk about, right? Now vaults are going to be 1,000, and there's going to be some cool filter features that I'm going to get down to. But let's talk about what we're going to be doing in Renegades, what I think, and what I'm hoping for. This is what we're looking at. We got the Renegades campaign. We got the Lawless Frontier activity. We don't know much about that. An exotic mission, the dungeon, Equilibrium, the new weapon blasters. It's those weapons that they showed, like the new archetypes. We got the new Praxis Blade, which is the lightsaber. Seasonal power carries over. All exotic weapons and armor are going to be featured, so no more avant-garde. That's a dope. Edge of Fate featured gear continues. Vault space increase to 300. Vault space sorting. Universal exotic ornaments, meaning you can put on any exotic ornament on your gear as long as it goes with your class. Returning player bonus and rewards. 300 power catch-up. Portal activities. New solo ops, Typhoon Imperator. Fire team ops is going to be Return of the Sunless Cell. Introducing arena ops. It's going to be 6-player activities. Pinnacle ops, Return of Vox Obscura and Derealize, and more. Portal activities and cosmetic refresh, weapons and armor, solo fire team, arena ops, Crucible ops, Pinnacle ops, Trials of Osiris. You kind of get where we're going here. But then there's this next one where it is weekly rituals Vanguard alerts. This is the update a week after Renegades drops. So Vanguard alerts, if you haven't seen the news today, they're GMs. GMs are returning. Bungie's like, damn, we shouldn't have taken them out, so we're going to bring them back. You're going to have a Vanguard alert playlist. You're going to have Grandmaster Vanguard alerts, Crucible, Arena Ops, then continued weekly modifiers and events. Sword Week returns. Foundry weapon sponsorships like Tex Mechanica. The Dawning Arms Week is going to be bows, Iron Banner, Heavy Metal mid-season Call to Arms surges, and all of that. So, yes. We did get some, and I do want to point out before I go on, DMG did tweet and he said, Destiny 2 Renegades content calendar has been published. We need more time for the roadmap, plain and simple. Expect a true roadmap and state of the game next year. Now, after we went over all the debuts, this is the L. I really don't think that they have time to wait on the state of the game. They need to tell us what's going on because the player count is so bad right now. And I just want to point this out. The player count is down so bad right now that people are already writing off Renegades. They're like, dude, we're going to sign on. We're going to play it for a week and then we're going to wait for the dungeon. We don't know if that comment's true, but we have to wait. I feel like they really shouldn't wait. So this is very important. I do want to read this and I want you to understand what they're trying to say here. They're going to talk about Edge of Fate here. They presented a different version of the future of Destiny 2's core game, one intended to refocus our releases and player call to action on familiar but deeper pursuit of power and ascend to higher tiers of gear across a wider range of activities, supporting customizable challenge and the rewards. They tried to make us grind for the tiered loot. They wanted us to power level. They wanted us to have fun, and it didn't work. And I agree, it didn't work. We didn't like the campaign. We didn't like doing the portal over and over and over. Not everybody got to take advantage of Encore. It was lackluster. Very quickly, the feedback made it clear that this was the wrong path for Destiny. Swing and a miss, but I do give them credit. I do think that the portal is good for the game. I think portal activities are good. Everything should be match made though, and better delivery. Like, there needs to be more reason to do it. Focusing loot. We should be able to unlock a workbench where we can go focus whatever loot we want in the activities. Play our way. That's how they pitched the portal. They pitched the portal, hey, you guys can play your way. They lied to us. That whole statement was false because every time we tried to have some fun, they said, no, you can't do that. And here's where it gets really interesting. Even if our execution had been perfect and we see plainly that it was not, it's clear that grinding power will never be a substitute for earning a trophy. Climbing through throwaway tiers and routes to the gear you want to build around isn't aspirational, and the portal itself surrenders too much of Destiny's feeling of place and exploration These lessons and many others besides them have been taken to heart by our team over the last 3 months. As a community, if you guys agree that you don't like power leveling, which we've had to do since the game came out, there was that small time in Destiny like a year ago where they just didn't increase the power level. But I want you to understand, we should have to do something. If you guys don't want to power grind, we have to be able to grind something. It's a looter shooter. We're supposed to be grinding. You can't just give us the god roll stuff. You will see that in Renegades. If we just get all tier 5 stuff right away in Renegades, you will get every single roll you want very quickly and you will put the game down. That is not good for replayability. So we need content. So if you don't want us to go power level, we need to have content to go play and be like, hey, screw power level. Let's go grind this. Let's go grind for this weapon. Let's go get our spare rations, or let's go get our blast furnace, or let's go get our kindling orchid, or let's go get our Imago loop. You were doing mindless activities for hours and hours and hours because you were grinding for that one set gun. Perfect example. Everybody was grinding for the Year Tide Apex SMG in Solstice. All you gotta do is add cool guns like that. It's simple. Just give us loot to grind and give us content that actually makes sense. From 9.0 to 9.1.5, our focus across the entire team has been a response to player feedback, starting with the fastest changes and working through the more challenging ones. Our focus was on faster, better rewards, more player agency, and activity choice, and removing barriers to playing with friends. I don't believe this sentence because playing with friends was not the thing. It was always solo ops. Solo ops was faster. Playing with friends, no one really played with anyone until it was Ash and Iron. They tried, but again, you gotta give people a reason. Honestly, you want to make the community happy, just tell them you're gonna start removing some of the portal. Take half of it out because people ain't having it. Going into Renegades, a focus on quality of life and rewards. Quality of life. I'm not ready for that quality of life stuff. Although this stuff is really good, I want content. And so do you. You guys know you want content. They could do all these quality of life stuff and give you every little quality of life you wanted, but if you're still doing the same old content, you're not having fun. So Wilder Access, it points out right here that the update will be on the 9th, and we have continued to apply lessons learned from Renegades in the core game. Some of these changes address longer term feedback terms, while others are continued iteration on feedback items on the edge of fate. While their access to power progression, especially in expansion content, players will be able to reach the power cap directly through Renegades activities if they wish. I'm not trying to be an elitist here, but most of you should probably be around 450 power. You've had plenty of time. Even when the power cap was 450, most of you could have made it to 400 or close to it. And with the power level changes now, if you just put a few hours in, you're right up there. It's good that they're helping people access power level easier, but the people that fell behind, they obviously stopped playing the game and they didn't want to keep playing. So you have to give those players a reason to sign on, except power level. They need content. Seasonal power and featured gear carrying across. So again, it's going to carry across from where we're at right now. All exotic weapons and armor are featured. So no more avant-garde. You can hunters, you can use your exotic class items. Dub. Additionally, we're moving the catch up from a chest needed to manually pick up. Sign in, play Renegades, catapult to 300 power, and play with your friends. So pretty much now everyone's just going to get bumped up to 300, even on a new account. Vault capacity and upgrades, you're going to have increased 300 slots, so it's going to 1,000 total. In addition, the vault now has filtered system. This is insane. So we've been asking for this since D2 launched. There's going to be a filter system for all items, weapons, helmets, miscellaneous probably, and filters. This is a dub. You can sort it by date added, rarity, power, tier, slots, lowest, highest. I mean, this is absolutely insane. I actually think I have another photo of this right here from Twitter where it can show this. We've been asking for this forever, so this is a dub. But again, it's not content. Just because you're making our vaults look cool doesn't mean anything. Now we get on to the universal exotic armor ornaments. Players now can apply any owned exotic armor ornaments of the same class and slot to their exotic armors in PvE activities. So if you like the way your Aeon Swifts look, but you have on Liars, you can switch it. So that's dope. They're going to reintroduce weekly objectives to support the weekly rituals. Vanguard alerts will bring back some Nightfall vibes. Check Twid. They're pretty much saying how the Twid earlier was telling you guys about Vanguard alerts. Vanguard alerts are pretty much GMs. They're coming back. But again, we don't know what loot's going to be there. If Bungie chooses their old system where, GM loot is only one new weapon, like if they only add one new weapon for this, people are going to be like, all right, give me the one weapon and I'm done. Here, I'm going to lead you guys to this example. If you do your first Vanguard alert, and let's just say it's a strike you really like, and you're farming for a weapon, but you are getting tier 5 drops, it's probably going to take you 2 or 3 drops to get the weapon you want that you can deal with because it has three perks in each row, and you're done with it. That's a problem. Do we want to grind GMs again? because they took them away from us? Yeah, we want to grind GMs again, but we need good loot too. We need a reason to farm loot. You know, maybe if we could set our gear and be like, you know, right now smoke jumper is one of the most important sets in the game, and it's probably one of the best sets for PvE. If you could go farm Vanguard alerts and focus your armor and be like, hey, I wanted to drop smoke jumper pieces while I'm doing these, that'd be a dub. You know, resources could be a good farm too, because we all know that enhancement prisms are pretty tough to farm unless you want to just consistently do it. So this could be our resource help, but again, we need content. Arena ops, you know me, I'm just gonna give you my honest opinion. Catch crash, that's old stuff. Sorry, but Menagerie 2.0 would have been better. The Archon forges would have been better, but doing a catch crash 6-player activity that's from plunder, that's not content. That's stuff we already did. And you know me, I'm just being brutally honest. I just think that this stuff is just, I don't want to do old stuff, unfortunately. But remember, I'm standing on business with this comment. If the player base was above 500,000 players every day and the game was booming, Bungie could do whatever they want and throw a little slop in there and give us some old content. But when your game is dying and people are saying, we don't want to play your game no more, there's nothing you can do to bring us back. They got to take the blue pill and give everybody a rock hard, raging boner for 5 hours when we see what's coming in Renegades, not slop. Again, when your player base is telling you, I mean, look at the comments. Look what people say. People just say on Twitter, on Reddit, on TikTok, on Twitch, they're like, I don't even play that game no more. It's dog shit. We need to get our hype back. And if you want to, you need to give people a reason to sign in. When they see catch crash, they don't care. They don't care. Example of the Vanguard orders. This is just pretty much bounties on a screen for you, so nothing here, but Bungie is introducing orders in Renegades. So again, it's something different, but as you see, it's just a bounty. Preview of their arena ops right here. As you see, it's catch crash, astral alignment, nightmare containment. Again, this is just, I don't care what anybody says. This is my own personal opinion. As a veteran player, I see these three activities and I just want to shit in my hands and clap. Like just splatter it all over. What is that? Where's the loot? I don't need to do that. I'm 550. I put in my work. I'm max power. These don't give me anything. This is for people that don't play the game, people that need the power levels. Upcoming events, you got Dawning, so hopefully they bring the juice in Dawning. Usually they do. Usually they bring like a cool weapon or like a cool farming activity, like Grandma, you can turn in candy and get a whole bunch of juicy exotics, or you know, something. Pay attention to Dawning. Arms Week, Guardian Games, dubs. We know Titans are gonna win. Call to Arms, they better fix that one. Iron Banner and Heavy Metal, maybe they can fix those too. If you made it to the end of the video, I'm sorry that I'm brutally honest with some of my takes. Someone's got to be. I'd rather just fire off what I'm thinking on my mind and not just sit here and make content and lie to you for views, because that's just not my kind of spiel. I really hope Renegades ignites the player base and wanting to play again. I'm excited for the dungeon. I'm excited to farm the dungeon. I'm excited to get the Praxic Blade. I'm excited for the campaign, but I'm worried as a veteran player that me being 550 and already being max power on my account, that Renegades it's gonna die out quick for me because I'm gonna have nothing to do. So I really hope that everything on this launch map here is some reason for me to replay the game or play with chat, but I can only help so many people through the dungeon. So we'll see. Thanks for watching the video. I'll see you guys in the next one.